Hello everyone.
Hello guys,
Hey.
how are you?
This is our second video. Our first one we had a problem with the audio and sorry for that. I hope this time we don't have the same problem. And that's it.
Yeah, so this is our second video. So as you know, we usually just pick random topics and talk about it. So today video will be different from the previous video. We're gonna talk about something really interesting for
Yeah.
us, maybe for you guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So the topic for today is it better to live in multiculturalism or monoculturalism country? So basically what that means, to make it more simple, is it better to live in a country where there's mixed cultures or like a country where there's primarily one culture? So for example, is it better to live in a country like US where there's like mixed cultures, or like in Japan where there's primarily like one culture, mostly dominantly? So yeah, we're gonna discuss this topic.
Yeah, but first we need to give you an overview, like a definition of both of them, like what the definition of multiculturalism and monoculturalism before we start.
Yeah.
So
So that's what I explained
oh, sorry.
just now. Multiculturalism.
I was focusing on something else. I'm
It's
sorry.
It's okay. Multiculturalism, mixed cultures, monoculturalism, one culture.
But you just said a few countries. You don't define them.
Yeah, it's like, so the definition is it mixed cultures or like one culture? And I give examples. That's what I meant.
This
Okay.
general the definition, like you need more specific, I think.
No.
Okay, we
it
can go
doesn't
with it.
matter. I think it's
Anyway, if
very
you didn't
clear.
know what the meaning, you just Google it.
I think it's easy to understand, hopefully. But yeah, of course, if you didn't
Figure it out. Yeah. I don't know.
we can explain more in the comments if someone didn't understand
Yeah.
it. Anyway, so the side I'm taking is it's better to live in a monoculturalism country, so one culture dominantly, and my brother is taking the other side, which is it's better to live in a multiculturalism, mixed cultures country. So do you want to start or I start?
Okay, I will start.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is for multiculturalism.
Yeah. For me, why I choose multiculturalism, because it's a chance for people to learn about other cultures, first of all. Yeah, like for example, you are constantly exposed to new ways of doing things and new perspectives, like a diversity of perspectives, talents, skills, and ideas promotes innovation and allow for out-of-the-box thoughts. Like it's really good, because like you will meet those people and you learn a lot about them, like how they talk, how they their lifestyle and other stuff like that. Like, and one of the things, how to live. Like for example, if you want to decide how to live, you have more options. Like there is an impressive list of possibilities to explore. Like you have no concept what to wear, what to eat, or how to spend your free time. Like usually for like I don't know, for monoculturalism they have specific
way of doing things.
Yeah, like the clothes how they wear, yeah, and other stuff. So you have more freedom in that side. And what's more, being exposed to people from
different cultures,
from different background, culture, identities on a daily basis encourage tolerance and open-mindedness. Like you're not gonna be like that. People
I agree.
I stick to one thing. Yeah, I just be open-minded and try to understand other people from different cultures.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
what what else I want to say is like, for example, the communication styles, culture difference,
Mm.
and language barriers sometimes may result to misunderstanding. Like for example,
Mm.
some people they have hand gestures or something like that. They
Mm.
have different meanings.
Body language,
Yeah,
yeah.
for body language. So
True.
if you can learn it in that country, that certain people from different country have those kind of stuff, so you will understand if it has a bad meaning or good meaning.
Mm.
And what's more, I want to say it's this is a minor, not main things for me. It's attract more money to the company economy through the expansions of different business.
Mm.
Like if you other people come to your country, they will try to bring other more people to your country. They will do more business. So if you have, for example, only the country that have only the population of their only nationality, not from different nationalities, like you will have like less the minimum of knowledge and trying different stuff like for the business. For example, okay, so now I will go with the facts. Some facts I went through research and everything.
But I never consider that part, the business part, is very like interesting point.
Yeah,
I
but
agree.
it's minor. Why? Because
No,
when I
no.
went through it, it's like I went through which countries that has sorry, what's it called?
Multiculturalism.
Yeah, multiculturalism, and the other one monoculturalism. It was really interesting because most of the that have multiculturalism are in Africa, most of the
Mm.
countries. And I was like, and I saw them,
How?
their economy is like average, I would say. But when I saw other countries like Canada and the United States, it's like make me think it's like depends on the country policy and
Mm.
those kinds of stuff, the system and everything. Multiculturalism is not gonna be main things for you
Mm.
to have a good economy. So that's why I put it in the minor side of things. So it can happen, it can increase, but at the same time it can decrease.
I think it depends though in Africa. Some countries are in Africa that are multiculturalism, but some countries are monoculturalism, I would say. So it depends which country exactly,
Yeah, it
right?
depends, yeah, for sure. Okay, so I will go with the facts I have.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is by emphasizing the benefits of multiculturalism, a more global long-term study of phenomenon. Sorry, I don't know how
Phenomenon.
to say it.
I don't know too.
Oh,
Phenomenon. I don't know. I know it in.
I will leave it in the
Yeah.
description, so I don't know how to say it. It can help overcome racist attitudes and nationalism.
Mm.
So, since you're gonna explore those kind of different culture, you will be like more open-minded. Through open-minded, you will understand them, and you're not gonna be afraid like of them, or will be like,
You'll have more tolerance
yeah, tolerance.
to
Yeah,
different cultures, to a different way of thinking and living. Yeah.
yeah. My second fact is, according to Scientific American, exposes to diversity changes the way people thinks, ultimately improving innovation, creativity, and
Mm.
problem-solving skills, making us more smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely can make you grow more creatively, not only through innovating new ways of communication, but even like learning languages and gestures, as you said. Like it will definitely, I agree. Like it will make you more creative and grow as a person.
yeah. And the third one is the impact of multiculturalism, especially for the education on society, is significant and positive. Why? Because the students who have studied into multiculturalism settings are more likely to collaborate in the future.
Mm.
Like they will be more.
So even like if, for example, you grow the person who's different culture and they go back to their country, you can still make a business together or communicate together,
Yeah.
even though you're from different
They will
countries.
find them more familiar.
Yeah, and maybe that way you build connection between two countries.
You had those experience, so you're not gonna have other problem from different nationality or different culture. So you'll have more chances to collaborate with them.
I'm getting convinced. This is a problem.
There's also about the language. This is
learning more languages.
Yeah, for people mainly when they learn or want to prove their second language or third language, most people who learn a language hope to eventually converse with others in that language. Like for example, when you talk them directly, when someone native, he know that language, so it will help you a lot. Like for the accents and you will straight just ask them if you are something you don't know and everything, and you talk directly to them. It's directly to begin speaking it face to face. Yeah, that's the end of it.
Yeah, for your point of view.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, very interesting points. I really, really do agree. Like, there's always pros and cons for both sides. For my side, which is monoculturalism, so prominently like one culture in a country. Of course, there can be minorities of different cultures, but dominantly, like it's one culture mostly. So I think what are the pros in living in a monoculturalism country is you use one language. You don't have to learn mostly. It depends on the country, but for example, in India, mostly they're like one culture, but you have to learn many languages depending which part of the country you are. But most of
But the main language is English in India.
No, it's Hindi. But if you go to different parts of the country, you have to learn other languages.
What I know,
but the second language is English.
But
the first language is Hindi.
There are specific cities they don't understand other cities.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So how they communicate with the English language, I think.
I don't know about that, but maybe. But most of the monoculturalism countries, they speak one language. So if you speak one language, you don't have to learn other languages. So like jobs, even like when you for your education or for your jobs, the communication would be in one language. You don't have to learn another language and struggle with it when you learn or academically or when you go into the job market. So it's so much easier. And like you said before, even the body language, the gestures and all, there will be like most of people will use the same gestures, body language, even like the one language, which is like the oral language. So it's just easier for a person to just use one language. Of course, you can learn another language as an option, but just the way communicating with, especially with businesses and like education and everything, is just more easier, definitely, to just use one language. Another point is you have more of sense of identity and sense of nationalism, which you contradicted with your point, but yeah, like I mean, it depends on the individual. Sometimes, like even if you live in a multiculturalism country, you can still have a very strong sense of identity. But generally speaking, if you live in like monoculturalism country, most of people will have a stronger sense of identity and sense of nationalism. Even if something like if someone like from your country does something, you're like a big achievement, you will have this sense of pride and to your country. Or like even if there's war or something negative that is happening to your country, or something very strong, you will feel like that sense of nationalism. You will most likely want to defend your country. So it will make mostly like people from that country have a sense of unification, like they feel like more united. But it depends, of course, on the individual, but generally speaking. The third point is like social norms are like the social norms like are accepted or frowned upon. So it's more clear what to follow. So like the social norms, you kind of know, like when you visit that country, you kind of know, or live in that country, you kind of know like what is accepted for you to do and what is frowned upon. It's more clear than a multiculturalism country. So it depends, like if those norms are what something that is you accept for yourself, then you'll be fine living in that country. But if you don't agree with most of the things, of course you wouldn't want to live there. But if you agree on most of the things that about that country, like what can you do, what you shouldn't do, then it's just you have more sense of clarity and more sense of order, and that makes things more clear and less confusing. And even like with ruling, it will be less confusing for a lot of people. And even like within a community, what is accepted or what's not. So, and the last one, it's it depends on the individual, of course, but it's easier to connect to one another when you have similar language, similar religion, for example, similar background, so similar way of living. Basically, it's easier to connect to one another. You have that sense of familiarity. So even like within neighborhoods, if you live in a mixed country, mixed culture country, it's like so hard to connect to your neighbor or something, to even say hi or anything. It depends on the individual, but generally speaking. But like in one culture, it's easier to connect to your neighbor. It's easier to connect to someone from your job or someone you study with, when you share like stuff that are similar values, similar culture, similar language, religion, etc., etc. Yeah, so those are my points. So I really feel like there's pros and cons and everything.
Both sides,
yeah, but like, what are your personal thoughts?
Before my personal thought about the India stuff, we talked about it. What you said was right. Yeah, the second language is the English, and when they try to the official language is India.
Hindi, right?
Yeah. And there is no national language as per the constitution.
Okay.
Okay, this is interesting.
Good thing to learn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for us, both of us, we lived in both cases, right?
Yeah.
So, like, we lived in a multiculturalism country and a monoculturalism country. I feel like there's pros and cons in each case. Like, for sure, it made me grow as a person more when I lived in a multiculturalism country. Like, it opened my mind to different cultures, and example, to learn more languages. It's so much easier when you communicate with different cultures and you just learn their language. So it's definitely...
What you said about the neighbors, that is really... hit me, like this is really true, I think.
I feel like
especially for old people they have problem learning new language.
Right. Even for kids, but for kids they're easier to learn new languages for them because their mind is able to adjust.
Kids like 6 years old, 5 years old, they will have difficult. They will learn only from their
parents.
But
it's easier for a child to learn a new language than someone who's elder.
Yeah, but at
you're
the beginning,
right. Like we didn't consider the elder people to be so much harder for them to adjust to different cultures at that age. But yeah, but still, it could be positives in it. Um,
So which side you would like to choose?
I feel like as a person, it's better if possible to experience both. But for me personally,
No, for example, your country, what you want it to be.
now in my like
Your own country.
currently
If you have
I
a
feel
country,
like it's
yeah.
good that I grew in a multiculturalism country, so that made me grow as a person. But now, since I'm older and I know myself, and I have a sense of identity, I know myself more, I feel now I can live in a monoculturalism country. um,
For me, what I want.
because I know what I like and dislike, and I know what kind of things I accept and don't accept. And I grew to live with different cultures, and I love it, and it made me more creative for sure. But now, since I lived most of my life in multiculturalism country, I feel like now, because as an adult, it's very hard to connect with people more, I feel. So, like, if you want to connect to people more as an adult, maybe it's better to live in a monoculturalism country. This is for me personally speaking. But I don't know. Maybe when I actually try it as an adult, maybe I will have a
For
different
me,
experience. But I have
one
no
of
idea.
the main things that I don't like about
Hmm.
monoculturalism is that it affects the politics.
Oh yeah, for sure. If
Yeah,
we're gonna
that's
talk about politics, it's gonna be.
yeah.
But for both cases, I feel like the politics.
No more.
I feel
They stick the same rule and those kind of
yeah.
stuff. They don't try to update or improve, try to change.
Mm.
It's like so for me personally, I want both. Like for example, if you have a country, the north side is multiculturalism and the
South.
south is monoculturalism.
So you can experience both.
Yeah, you saw
You
the same experience.
get the
But if I
best
have to
of both
choose one, I
worlds.
will choose multiculturalism. Honestly.
Even now, like.
Yeah, even now.
Mm.
Because you need those people. Because you'll be like if you're someone you're unfamiliar with him, you're not gonna be. Your attitude will be like more better toward them. Like you'll be more like for example, if you know someone of the same country, the same nationality, like and he's living there and you're living there, you talk with him like your brother. But if someone from different nationality, you talk about like not a stranger, but in a more formal attitude.
Yeah.
Like you try to be more. How can I say it? Yeah.
Depends. Like I feel like.
For more manner, you'll use more manners for that side.
For which one?
For a non different nationality, that have some from different nationality.
You will be more kind and
More
manners.
Not kind, more manner.
Formal.
Yeah, more formal guys from that
I think
side.
it depends, because some people actually, I feel they are more chill with people who are foreigners than actually with the people from their own country.
I mean, most of the people
Depends.
will feel like what I said, but I know it depends.
For me, it's the opposite. For me, it's easier to speak like first time with a person that's from a different culture, but to connect deeply with that person, it's harder. I feel.
Yeah, the same thing. I have the same thought.
Okay,
But at the
okay.
beginning, I just said the beginning when you
I
talk
get
with someone.
you.
So it will keep you more remembering yourself. Remember how to communicate, how to talk with someone, like
you check with yourself.
Check with yourself, yeah. So it's much better for you, and you don't go over the line.
I feel for me like it's better for me personally to live in a monoculturalism country, but traveling into multiculturalism countries. So most of your day-to-day daily life will be like in mostly dominantly one culture. But to not forget that experience in the multicultures, you travel there, you visit there, you stay for a few days there. So you still expand yourself, you still think more creatively and otherwise. Because yeah, I feel like the best case scenario, like you said, if possible, to live both cases. And it depends how old are you, and depends on a lot of things, your circumstances. But yeah, if possible, it's better to have a balance of both. It really, like for both cases,
Yeah.
it's mostly gonna make you grow as a person and connect with people and form
Yeah, we'll have more
communities.
options if you have both.
Yeah, for sure. And we're so lucky we got to experience both, and hopefully in the
Yeah.
future we'll be able to as well. Yeah, so guys, that's it for us. And
So
of
leave
course,
in the comment
yeah.
below, first of all, what your thought, which one you choose. Is
Which
it
one you
you
prefer?
prefer?
What is your experience? And etc. etc.
And more, yeah.
Yeah.
So
We will love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, that's it. This is for our topic for today, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.